Alright, hey guys, remember it's CCG and I'm here to bring you a new deck profile. So this is for P.U.N.K, which is a new archetype that came out in the Grand Creator. This came out with the Brave Token archetype and the Exo Sister, which if you want to check out the deck profile for the Exo Sister is on the top right corner. But yeah, let's just get started. So here, I run 3 of a no P.U.N.K numero Ogre. So the great thing about this card is that this is your searcher. This is your way to go in to search out like your level 3 P.U.N.Ks. And yeah, that's very useful because you're gonna need certain P.U.N.Ks for certain things, and depending on what type of player you're gonna go to first, this card makes it easier to do that. And once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's original attack. So you could just get a bit of an attack boost. Not gonna be super relevant, but sometimes it could like serve as the deterrent from keeping your opponent from attacking you. So that's nice, but really you're just going to be using the last effect and the effect to special summon itself in order for you to synchro. So here we got Foxy Tune. So Foxy Tune, once per turn when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can gain life points equal to that monster's original attack. So that's actually pretty relevant because all of the level 3s, they have an effect where you have to pay 600 life points in order to do X thing. And you end up like losing a lot of life points over time. So this is a great way to get your life points back. And it's done so in a, you just have to destroy an opponent's monster by battle, which, it is a bit difficult to do sometimes especially if you're going first, you can't do that. But yeah, it's just a great way to just get some life points back. But this card just serves as a way to special summon. It's basically like a built-in E-Telly, which is really nice. Although you do have to like discard an extra card, but still. Here we have Mystic Water Dragon. So 3 Mystic Water Dragon. I think Mystic Water Dragon is pretty great, just because it does let you to just special summon it from your hand if you control an Earth monster, and this just makes it easier to go into your level 11 Synchro. And yeah, it just enables the play a bit better. And then here we got 3 P.U.N.K Shadakusai. This is probably your most important P.U.N.K, as this is your way to fuse. It's going to be your main way, or your only way of really fusing in the deck. And it's also your way of synchroing during your opponent's turn. So, this is an integral part of the deck. And yeah, you kind of need it at 3 copies for that reason. So Wagon here is just going to search out. Wagon's just your way of searching out a P.U.N.K spell. That's basically what it's going to do. And all the value you're going to find out of it. The P.U.N.K spells aren't that great. So I just decided to run 1 copy. But yeah, and then here we have 2 Madam Spiders. So Madam Spiders does search out your P.U.N.K traps, so that's pretty nice because there are some decent P.U.N.K traps, but I decided that 2 copies was good enough. And then this P.U.N.K allows you to just to search out any P.U.N.K monster from your deck to your hand, which is of course really relevant and really nice to have. And then for the non-P.U.N.K lineup, I run Psychic Tracker and Psychic Wielder. So this card, if you control a level 3 monster other than their names, you can special summon them. And then when you synchro with them, you get certain effects that trigger. So these are just going to be your main ways of just being able to get some extra synchros summons out, and extra synchro summons. And yeah. And here I run 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Ghost Bells, 2 Effect Veiler. You can change the ratios to whatever you want for hand traps, but I found that this worked pretty well, so I decided to just keep it like this. Instant Fusion is going to be your way of getting Invoked Raijin out, which lets you just, once per turn you can target one face of monster you on the field, change it to face on defense. It's just a Book of Moon, which is nice. It's a Book of Moon, and then you can use it to just go into your synchro plays. And then here we have Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm, it's Lightning Storm. It's going to be a great way to deal with, deal with monsters or with spells and traps if you're like in a bit of a pickle. Called by the Grave is, in case your opponent wants to play hand traps too, you can stop them. Recently we got, in the February ban list, we got 3 copies of E-Telly. And originally I was playing 1, and I felt that this was not enough. And running 3 copies was really nice. You're just able to cheat out any of these guys from your deck with E-Telly, and then from there you can just continue doing some plays, and it doesn't use up your normal summon in case you have to get another one out. So pretty great. Here we have P.U.N.K Wild Picking. So P.U.N.K Wild Picking, it's not that great, but it is I did want to include it here as a search for Wagon. So at the start of the damage step, if your punk monster battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster. And then if this card in its owner's spell and trap card zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can activate this effect. Punk monsters you currently control cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So again, not super relevant or like that great, but it is a search that you're able to. It's just a card you're able to search. 3 imperm just to continue the hand traps. I run 2 dangerous Gabu. So this is basically your negate. It's like another infinite imperm, but it does allow you to. If you control a punk monster, you can gain life points equal to that targeted monster's original attack. So another way to get life points. So I could totally see you guys running 3 copies of this and then like dropping one of these if you want to. Just keep in mind it is slower, so you just have to note that. And then here we have 1 copy of Nashiwari Surprise, which lets you target one set card your opponent controls, or if you control a punk monster, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls instead and destroy it. It's just a 1-card destruction. Decided 1 copy was fine. A little underwhelming. So here I run 2 Punk Carp Rising. So Punk Carp Rising is going to be your main way of like going into like combo plays. You're going to mainly fuse this card. So you're going to want to summon like Shadakusai and then use your 2 other punks in your hand to fuse them into this. And then, tribute this fusion monster in order to summon 2 more punks. And from there you can continue doing some plays. Probably search out one of these guys and then special summon them in order to do your synchro play and then bring back your Carp Rising. Or you can, you can keep it. Well, I guess when we get to it, I'll show you guys. But Invoked Raijin, it's your Book of Moon, and instant fusion target. And then here I run 3 Amazing Dragon. So you can probably cut this down to 2, but I thought 3 was really nice because I have been able to summon 3 at a few times. So I decided keeping 3 was pretty good. So if this card is synchro summon, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of level 3 monsters with different names you control, and in your graveyard, return them to the hand. So basically the great way about doing this, and it also serves as a special summon for a level 8. Or you can target 1 punk monster in your graveyard, special summon it, so you usually bring back the Carp Rising, so you could do another synchro play or one of these guys. But yeah, so mainly what I usually do is that I try to set up a board where I have a level 8 monster out with Punk Shadakusai, and then just that's gonna be your first turn play, and you just leave it there. And then during your opponent's turn, you let them kind of get established. You have to know when to use it, and be careful that they don't negate it. But then once you get to the point where you're like, okay, they're getting comfortable, you synchro summon. With level 3, level 8, you get this level 11 out. And then with Amazing Dragon, you just bounce everything back. And then during your turn, you just play, and then you try to attack for game. That's usually what you're going to do. So having 3 copies is really nice. And I found it to be pretty useful. Drag-Eye, just a spell trap negate, and a level 8 synchro. Just so you have more options when you have Raijin. You can synchro into that. Omega, it's a psychic synchro, so I thought it was fitting. And it just lets you remove cards from your opponent's hand. This is just these are just rank 3s that aren't super great, but they just let you have some options if you want to exceed, and then go into Zeus. Zeus is always a nice option. Hulk is just it's just a link monster to have here. It's easier to link climb, so I just decided to have a Hulk, Unicorn, and Access Code Talker in case you want to attack for game. And then here in my side deck, I have cards that I considered running, or I think you should pay attention to, and just be know that they exist. So here I have No Punk Dino. So this is Dino is the future. I think it's coming out in Dimension Force, which is the future punk monster. And I just want to let you guys know that there's new support coming out for the archetype later after this, if you are still building it. Just to note that there are some cards coming in. And this is a decent one, and it'll enable some. Since this is the first level 5, it'll make it easier to do some level 8 synchro plays. So I'll probably update it when this comes out. So Gamma, in case you want to run Gamma, it is a psychic monster. It's not like it's super relevant that it's psychic, but if you want to run that as one of your hand traps, that's what you can do. Another effect failure in case you want to run that. Millennium and Ice Restrict. If you don't want to deal with your opponent's hand traps, this is a great way to go about it. Just add this card in, and then you're pretty much free to do with what you want, as long as it's a monster hand trap. And And then here we have Virtual World QB Shenshin. So this is just a level 9 synchro. These two are just level 9 synchros to consider. Since you are able to you are able to do them if you run the Ready Fusion. As with Ready Fusion, it does let you summon a level 6 or lower non-effect fusion monster. So you just get a level 6 non-effect fusion monster with Ready Fusion, and then you synchro it with one of these level 3 tuners, and you can get either of these out. This card, once immediately after another monster effect resolves while the attack of this card is less than 4,000, this card gains 300 attack. So it gains 300 attack, 300 attack, 300 attack every time, and then once return of this card attack is 400 or higher, 4,000 or higher, you can shuffle both this card and all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. So, it just completely resets the board. So it's an interesting card. And I think it's notable with Psychic Tracker that a synchro monster that uses this card as material gains 600 attack. So it'll cut you there by 2. So just something to keep note of. Nightmare Phoenix, if you want another option for, link climbing. Pot of Prosperity. I ran 3 of them at a time. I thought it was fine, but not really necessary since you have a lot of cards that let you search out like whatever you need. Like there's you have this that searches out the spells, the traps, monsters. This guy searches out monsters, and then you also have E-Telly that lets you special summon basically any punk except for these from your deck. So you don't really need to search for specific cards. So I thought it wasn't necessary. And then here, this is the other punk spell. If your opponent activates a card effect that targets your punk monsters, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. So it's kind of specific, but it could punish your opponent if you want to run this. And then if this card in its own spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can activate this effect this turn. Your opponent cannot target your opponent's your punk monsters with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So just something to consider if you want to run this. And then this is the other one, another copy of like Wild Picking, if you wanted to. And then this is a card that I've seen a lot of people run, but I didn't really like it as much. Brain Research Lab lets you, it basically lets you, instead of paying life points, you can just place a psychic counter on this card, which is, it's nice. And then during the main phase, you can like normal summon an additional time. But I found that I was running like pretty tight on space and decided to just run the extra E-Tellies instead of running this. But it is a pretty good card, and I can see why you would run it. Just keep note that if they destroy this, you abuse its effect a lot. Just know that it might kill you. But yeah, I decided not to run it. But yeah, this is my punk deck profile. If you guys enjoy the video, and you can tell me what you would run or what you would change. But yeah, just like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.